What's up, guys? This is Zach Greenfield. It's another episode of Quick and Dirty Marketing Tips. Today, we're going to go over something that's just a constant conversation around here that y'all need to be paying attention to, and that is the difference between frequency in your marketing and amplitude. And stick with us, and I'm going to tell you all about what's the right way to go. Okay, so today's talk. This one's going to go quick because there's not much to say about it. It's pretty much a straight answer, but there are two approaches to marketing. There is some people that go for amplitude, which is like, big project and a lot of impact, and it's kind of like you shoot your whole shot there. And then the other strategy, which is the one that I tend to recommend more, especially for local businesses, small businesses, and businesses that are trying to launch and get the message out, is to take a frequency approach. Now, the differences between the two things can be dramatic in terms of workflow. When you set yourself up and you're trying to go for, this big effort and get this, gigantic thing out. And a great example of that where I see people getting really bogged down is just writing on an email. So they think they've got to come up with this long, big email. So it has a lot of amplitude and all these different messages and a lot of different calls to actions, and they're highlighting 3 or 4 different products or services and all this other stuff. And a lot of that ends up just being really overwhelming on the person, on the customer side or the prospect side that's receiving it. It's just too much. And the other thing is, from a work standpoint, you're putting in this gigantic effort, and it tends to bog down the entire marketing process, and it might take you, a week or 2 weeks to refine this email, which I see all the time, which seems crazy, but that's what ends up happening. And it's just lost time, So the better approach, and what I recommend you do, is to go for a frequency model, especially with the level of noise that there is today. If you think about marketing, or if you think about your prospects and their lives, right? Think about the great analogy would be, when you're thumbing through Instagram, that's kind of like the feed, right? Think about the feed of your prospect's life. It's not just Instagram that they're feeding on, right? Or they're thumbing through. They've got a lot of other things in their lives that are coming at them like in a stream. They've got work stuff and kid stuff and family stuff and relationship stuff and bills and expenses and, managing, getting their car fixed, and all these things are streaming at them all the time, including what's on their smartphone and their computers, right? So content's coming at them as well. So where do you fit into all that? Well, if you do this big project and you launch this gigantic missile out, yeah, it might have some impact, but it's one and done, and it really slows down your ability to keep present with that prospect. And in today's marketing, I recommend that you go for a presence approach, which means that you send out bite-sized bits in more of a story format that can be consumed easily, that doesn't overwhelm the prospect, but keeps you top of mind, right? So if you think about it that way, that you want to take up headspace, then the way to do that is to be present, right? And you want to be present as much as possible so that when the person's ready to make that buying decision, you're top of mind, and they're going to get a hold of you, click or call or whatever that call to action is. But if you don't stay top of mind and you do this one shot, and say 10 days goes by and they haven't heard from you, and then this need comes up for what you offer, and they just can't remember. There's like, yeah, I remember that one company sent me something, and it was like 2 weeks ago or a week ago, but I don't really, I don't know who it was. I'm just going to search for a new thing, right? And then you kind of lost them. But if you stay with them with steady, consistent, story-based advertising campaigns, email campaigns, social media content posting and so forth, and you might drop some YouTube videos, whatever the strategy is, it doesn't matter. It's better to do them small and frequent than big and just kind of one and done, which is exactly why I like to do these videos here, real tight, real short, because it's easier for me workload wise. I get them out, we do a couple in a row, we set them up for like a couple of weeks, we know they're going to drop, they get converted and syndicated and all these other places, and everybody wins. You guys get great information, from behind the scenes of what we've learned, and it doesn't bog down us on the production side because we're just making little bites. So go ahead and make bites. Think about how to get some continuity there. Take up the headspace in your prospects' minds as best as you can, and don't get bogged down with your marketing. If you enjoyed this or this inspired you or guided you in any way, or you think that somebody else could benefit from watching this video, go ahead, like, subscribe, or share it for me, and catch us on the next one on Quick and Dirty Marketing Tips.